Watching TV has changed over time. Streaming has become the new norm. That's why Golden State Media Concepts television podcast dives headfirst to the world of cord cutting. Want to be on the loop of what's hot in Netflix? Or if it's not a preference, what about original shows in Hulu? We've got you covered. Join us as we fill in the blank and talk about movies to stream and what show you should be binging. This is the Golden State Media Concepts television podcast.
Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts television podcast. Now, today we're going to talk to you guys about Freakish, Son of Zorn, and we got an icebreaker for you.
An icebreaker?
Yeah.
Can I let this one off?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was hoping.
All right, great. I want us to do our favorite crush. Our first, no, not our favorite, I'm sorry. Our first crush. Our first crush from the TVs, you know? Like that first person that made you go, huh, I like her or him in every way possible. Let's get married one day. So, who wants to hit it off?
Yeah, you guys go first. I need to think about this.
Okay, all right. I'm going to tell you guys the first crush I ever had from, it was actually a movie. I had a major crush on the girl who played Matilda.
Are you serious?
First crush, yeah. It was Matilda.
That was really good.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Really? Thank you.
No,
I guess I just realized I like smart people, really. I don't know. It was, maybe she was so intelligent, she picked up things with her mind. Also very unique. You know, I had a big crush on Matilda.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I mean, it's really hard to say that who the first crush on TV was, not for movies. I guess, and this is probably a bad guess because that show came around later in my life, but like the girl from Zoe 101, I always found her very attractive.
Jamie Spears, Britney Spears' younger sister.
Yeah, Jamie Spears. I didn't know that was her little sister.
Yeah, that's her little sister.
I didn't really watch the show. I just remember seeing the commercials and being like...
Zoe 101?
Yeah.
It was Jamie Lynn Spears.
Yeah, I didn't know that was Britney Spears.
I can't believe you didn't know that. Like that was...
I didn't pay attention.
Okay, I understand.
To be,
it was a big deal when I was growing up, and everyone was like, oh, man, Britney Spears' little sister.
I didn't know anybody who talked about it. Like, we were too busy with our cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hear what happened was the show was going great until she got pregnant, and then they canceled the show.
Yeah, and then they canceled the show.
So you had a crush on her. That was your big, like, oh, my God, Jamie Lynn Spears is amazing.
Well, my first crush, of course, was Princess Leia, but isn't every boy's?
No, mine was Matilda. We just been over
Yeah, that's right. We went over this.
How many things can Princess Leia pick up with her mind?
She actually, like, okay, so...
No, don't explain it. Ravina, what's yours?
Okay, since we're doing television, I have lots of crushes, but
since
we're doing, I would say Ethan from Lizzie McGuire.
Ethan from Lizzie McGuire.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Ethan? Was that the little brother, or was that the friend that
it was
just
a love
the
interest
friend?
of Hilary Duff, but he was actually dating the bully, Katie.
Oh, no.
I didn't watch Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, you're talking about the guy who was dumb.
Yeah, okay. Didn't need to say it like that.
Well, that was his whole thing, right? He was the dumb one.
Dude.
Do you guys remember that show? What was the one? The Life with Derek?
No, I don't remember Life with
Yes,
Derek.
I loved that show too.
I liked that show a lot. I always had a thing for the
Whatever happened to
sister.
that actress?
I don't know.
I have not seen her in anything recently.
You know what happened to that show, though?
What?
The brother Derek and her started dating in real life, so it got really awkward on set. Like, it got really, really awkward, even on the show. Like, if you watch some of the later episodes of Life with Derek, you can feel the tension that's there. Like, you can tell that there's, like, a love interest thing going on, and it was really weird because they're brother and sister in the show.
Well, that's like happens a lot, though, right? I mean, there was Dexter, the show Dexter, Michael C. Hall. Who played Deborah.
Yeah, Deborah.
And Johnny Depp, didn't he marry his TV mom at one point?
The guy who plays Dexter and the lady who plays Deborah, they got married.
Yeah, they did. Then divorced all while in the show.
Yeah.
Which I feel like
That's
must
really
have been
awkward.
10 times awkward, yeah. Not only is this your brother, sister that you love very dearly, it's also somebody that you are divorced right now. You're going through something.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's funny because they tried to do a workaround in that where, like, she falls in love with him, though, right? Like, it was really weird in the show.
Yeah.
But,
well,
for Life with Derek, that's why it got canceled. Like, And the later episodes, they started separating them in scenes. Like, they really weren't in a lot of scenes together.
But you're supposed to be an actor. That's not supposed to shine through.
They're
Yeah,
kids,
You're a
though.
child actor, yeah. You got this part
No,
because
they
you
were
look...
teenagers. You're talking about the two leads, right?
Yeah, but again, like teenagers, I really feel like they don't really have a full handle on all of their emotions. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, I thought they didn't really necessarily look like teenagers to me. They looked like they were casted like in their 20s to play 18-year-olds.
I could see that, yeah.
So
That
that's
happens
why
a
I was
lot.
saying, yeah, because it's way better for film companies and television companies to do that.
Well,
Less
yeah,
legal
it's
issues.
more cost effective. I just love. There was a short film I saw one time at a horror film festival where like this girl invited this guy over just to hoax a serial killer out to go kill her because she's following all of these lists on the checklist of like 80s horror movie cliches, and like. She sits him down and he's like, "Oh man, I'm so glad that you gave me a chance. I mean, nobody wants to talk to me in school because I look like I'm 30." And like they just like openly addressed the fact that most horror movies have like 30-year-olds casted to play 16-year-olds.
I just remembered my other crush, my second. It could be my first. They could be like tied between each other.
Yeah.
The girl vampire from The Littlest Vampire.
Are you serious?
Yeah. She had a unique look.
Next, you're gonna tell me that like you had a thing for Wednesday Addams.
Kinda. No, I didn't. I saw Addams Family but the age I think I saw the Addams Family movies, it would not be appropriate to like think Wednesday Addams was pretty. But
Right. I didn't see those movies till I was an adult.
Really,
But
I saw
I
it
knew
as
about
a
the
teenager.
show.
Yeah. By the way, just let the record show, I didn't find Matilda and the little girl vampire and the Littlest Vampire. I watched these when I was 5 or so. This wasn't like, oh yeah, last year I saw Matilda. I was like, whoa, it's a cute little girl. No,
You really shouldn't joke about that.
no,
Oh my god, guys!
it was way before.
So who's your current crush then, Jordan?
Gosh, oh, this is tough.
Megan Fox.
No, absolutely
No.
not. I've never.
What?
I never
you guys
saw
don't
the big
think
deal.
Megan Fox is
No,
pretty?
Do
I
you?
didn't like her before plastic
I
surgery.
love Megan Fox.
And I didn't like her after.
I'm not a big Fox head.
Me neither. She
Okay.
doesn't have the curves that
Okay.
I like.
I'm really curious then.
Shay.
What's your guys' crushes? No, you have to tell me.
I'd like to go last in this one. I went first with Matilda.
Okay.
I'd like to go last.
I
Like
like.
Sofia Vergara?
Huh?
Like Sofia Vergara?
From
Who's
Modern
this
Family.
I like the girl who played the redheaded wildling girl in Game of Thrones. I don't know her name. Like the one that he
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
chop her head off, right?
Yeah, good for her.
I like
not
her.
getting the head chopped off.
Yeah. I don't know what else she's been in. I've been watching Game of Thrones, so I saw that and I'm like, oh.
You don't think the girl with the white hair is pretty? The
Oh,
Queen of
Khaleesi?
Dragons? Khaleesi?
Yeah, but Khaleesi is very young, and I'm not like into 16-year-olds.
She's not 16.
Not in real life, no.
Yeah, but we're
But
talking
in the
about
show
real.
she is.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean she's pretty. I think she's very attractive, but like
She's
again,
not 16 in the show.
isn't she? I thought she was 16 or 17 because they're like you've come of age.
No, she's aged a lot. Like
they're
show's
like
been
7
progressing.
seasons
Yeah.
in, right?
Yeah, well, I'm only on season 3.
Okay, so,
So
at
she's
the
still
current
young.
season, you're not. Well, that's a weird. You know how old she is now. You've seen her.
Yeah,
we can
no,
still count it.
She's very
You
attractive.
don't exist in
She's
the
really
world of
not
Game
my
of Thrones season
type,
3.
though. Like I'm not really into blondes.
Okay.
Like she's gorgeous, but like I couldn't see myself starting a family, right?
That's what you look for
We're getting
in a
really
screen.
deep here.
Well,
I'm
that's-
learning so much about you that I feel like
That's
I could
what,
never want to know.
That's
And
what
I'll
you
be-
gotta look for in a person, right? Like you can't just mess around and waste your time, right? Like
Yeah, that's what you look for
I
in
think-
your TV crush, who you were going to
It gets
marry.
really serious in the living room.
Yeah, he does not waste any time. He's already
no,
planning.
I'm a practical person, Jordan.
I think it's creepy. Ravina, what's yours? What's your crush?
You guys just flipped it on me.
You knew it was coming. You brought the question out.
No, I didn't know. You didn't even go yet. You
No,
go
I
first.
I volunteered. I'm going last. I went
Okay.
first the last time.
TV crush. Well, I'm watching Narcos. I obviously can't say Pablo Escobar.
You can say Pablo. I think
Yeah,
my
Pablo
crush
Escobar.
right now is Pablo Escobar. That guy is charming.
No.
Is
I
it
just
me?
drug dealers.
I have a type.
So
There's
next
nobody
thing we
really
know, it's
attractive
Walter
in
White.
Scandal either.
Well,
I don't know.
A Scandal's not an attractive show for a lot of reasons. It's
Yeah.
not something that I'm gonna buy for Christmas.
I don't know. There's no attractive people in the shows that I'm currently watching.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, not in How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, Master of None, Narcos. Like,
Aziz Ansari, he's a fox,
Yeah,
right?
he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
no, definitely not.
What about that Mark
attractive.
Maron? Yeah,
All right, your turn.
blank faces.
Yeah.
Kidding. Come on. I'd say mine would probably be. God, there's nobody that instantly I'm like, oh, they're the reason I watch this show. They are just so attractive.
There's so many pretty girls in TV right now.
There are.
There are.
There's
yeah.
like so I have way more girl crushes. Like I could just name a bunch of pretty girls.
I'm trying to like. I have somebody in mind. I just don't know the name.
Well, just describe her. Like,
Yeah.
who is she?
She's
Matilda.
Matilda.
yeah, no, I don't know if you guys have seen her Twitter feed, but she has grown up. No, I think Sofia Vergara actually. I think she's actually really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I love the accent. I think that's the big thing
From
for me.
Colombia. No, I'm just kidding. She does not sound like that.
I think though that's something like when I first saw her, like when Modern Family first came out, I was like, oh my god, Sofia Vergara is kind of pretty. I'm kind of over it now, though.
Yeah, I kind of watch that show on mute.
You do?
No, I'm kidding. That's like
You
a
don't
joke.
watch it at all, right?
No, but that's a joke my dad has. Is like I'll watch this on mute because like the content is terrible.
Yeah.
But he doesn't mind looking at the
Oh,
actress. Get it?
I thought
It's
that
just
you were like.
he's got some really chauvinistic like sayings that he talks about. Like we'll be driving and he'll
Doesn't
just be
he
like,
listen to this now? Should you not throw your
"No,
dad under the
throw him
bus?
under the bus. He doesn't care.
Okay, yeah.
No, like we'll be driving and he'll be like, look, check out the seat cover on that chair. And, like there'll be like a lady sitting in a
Oh
chair.
my
I'm
God.
like, yeah, Dad.
Oh
This
my
explains everything about you. This is like.
Jordan's getting to know me better and better with the show, and it looks like we're coming up on a break. When we get back, we're going to talk to you guys about Freakish and Son
Do
of
not
Zorn.
condone his dad whatsoever.
He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he is, but not into that locker room talk.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's gsmcpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GSMC television podcast. I'm still your host, Jordan Giles.
I'm Shay,
And I'm Ravina.
the Real Ravina. You heard it here.
We're just not letting you live that
Yeah,
down.
you guys are not going to let me get rid of that, huh?
I like that. I think it's a great DJ name. I wish
know
I had
you
a
love
good
it.
DJ name.
I think I'm more cynical about it, but it's growing on me. It really is.
I love it.
After
Like,
you stop saying it, now it's like, I'm going to miss it now.
What's your guys' Snapchat names?
I don't Snapchat.
Oh, because my Snapchat name is Real Ravina, and then that's why I just started to say.
I just have my phone number, and that's what I got. Like, I think it's Giles708 or something. I don't know. Along those lines.
We'll just call you 209 or 416.
Yeah, I'm a square. So we're going to talk to you guys about Freakish. Now, Jordan, what can you tell me about Freakish?
Freakish is a
It's
TV
very
show.
freaky.
Yeah.
It's not really.
Not really.
It
no,
seems
kinda-
kind of
it's-
freaky.
It's kind of tame.
It's cheap horror.
It
Really?
is.
I don't think so.
It is this Hulu show that is a teenager drama. Will they, won't they, agree, disagree,
The acting of those teenagers.
along with, okay, so these kids, regular kids, all equally annoying. One of them's name is Grover. They all get trapped in a school when a chemical plant blows up.
Can I just say that's the worst place to get trapped?
In
Who
a
wants
school.
to stay in math class
Well, here-
all day?
And no, that's what they
funny.
did.
That's
They-
funny. They did multiplication.
Yeah.
We're
You
gonna use
You guys heard the news. We're going to be here for a
trigonometry.
couple of weeks, so Everyone, take out your rulers and your calculators.
Let's calculate how to get it out of here.
Darn, I left my protractor at home.
Trigonometry is going to save our lives.
So
That
like
kid
they're
didn't
like
last long.
mutants that are outside attacking.
Yeah, they're
right?
basically zombies, and the zombies are all out as far as we know, but there are zombies inside the school, and it's them dealing with it.
Now, I have to say, one of the things that I just don't understand is, so it's a chemical bomb that goes outside. If you watch the trailer, and they talk about it a little bit in the first episode, they're like, oh, we can't go outside or breathe the air. Well, doesn't the air go through the cracks and stuff of the windows? Like, air isn't something that just doesn't come through a door, right?
I think it came through a bunker. I think the school's it's a bunker school. You know, one of those bunker schools.
Oh yeah, I went to like all of the schools that I went to had a bunker below.
I think it's called Bunker High.
Bunker High.
I think it's the name of it.
It's really a police state school, and
yeah,
you know, they're survivalists.
It's very inner city, outside beyond the chemical. There's a lot of crime and a lot of bombs. Just safe to say, let's get a bunker school.
So that's a little bit ridiculous. I think you said that like there's like a throwaway line that they say to like explain this.
And you know, I can't remember now. To the show. First of all, let's break down why we're reviewing a very cheesy horror teen drama.
Can I just
and
say,
spending so much time on it? It's a Hulu show. Hulu doesn't have a lot of original content that's been released lately, and we thought, this kind of has merit. We should, go ahead. This is also, from what I've seen, the first Hulu original that's been a binge show.
Binge show?
A binge.
Yeah.
It's all released at the same
Right.
time, right? I mean, before they did a weekly thing, so you can keep subscribing to the channel. But
Well,
now
they've done a few like that before. Like, are you familiar with Tommy Wiseau's The Neighbors?
did they do The Neighbors on Hulu?
Yes, they did.
They did not.
They did, dude. Look it up. It is great.
You're lying.
Tommy Wiseau, the director of The Room, which is known as the worst movie ever made, and they're right. It's bad. You should check it out. He has a show on Hulu called The Neighbors, and it was released in I think early 2015, maybe late 2014, and Hulu released it so that anyone can just like watch it for free. And I don't know what his budget was, but it seems like there wasn't one.
Well, not anymore though. Hulu switched to subscription only.
Right.
Yeah, but
well, back in the day, it was you could watch that, and oh my gosh, it's worse than The Room. Like, it looks like a bunch of high schoolers made this, which coincidentally, I feel like Freakish has that kind of YouTube gross feel, like they shot it on like a really cheap Sony DSLR instead
It's
of
like, that Cloverfield movie that came out a long time ago?
which one? That Cloverfield or Cloverfield Lane?
So I was going to talk about both, actually. So the first Cloverfield that came out, that was way worse than the way Freakish is filmed, because that was just like a very severely shaky pan at all times, and like people were getting money back.
Really? From
Cloverfield.
I actually like Cloverfield.
Like, they would watch it, and if you leave the movie within 30 minutes, you get your money back.
Yeah.
And
Is that a
it
thing?
made a lot of people feel
Some places.
nauseated. Yeah, in Canada.
Yeah,
I
well,
know a lot of people. But also the new movie, Cloverfield 10 Lane, I actually watched that in theaters, which I do not usually watch sci-fi and horror movies like that. I was very scared throughout the movie. But Freakish gives me the same vibes, like something happens to the air and then they have to stay inside the bunker.
Right.
So do you think Freakish is like a knockoff of Cloverfield 10, or Cloverfield 10
I don't think
thrived off
so.
Freakish?
I think it's kind of like,
I don't think so.
it doesn't feel like, if we get the impression of what a a streaming website's original content, like if you can't look at Hulu shows through a Netflix show, because I feel like it's more orientated to like CW, ABC, anything like that.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's something that's it's very cheesy for what it is. I mean,
it really is. It looks like it's shot on a shoestring budget with like no good camera work, and I feel like it was written by a 5-year-old. Like it's really shallow. I don't know. Am I wrong?
No. Yes. Yeah. No, you're not. You're not wrong. I'm thinking about it, and I still have yet to see the entire season of the show. I've probably watched more than I've needed to review it. Like I kept, at one point I even thought, like, well, I do like zombie stuff. It's fun. Walking Dead's fun. Maybe this will be great.
That's kind of what my approach was on it. Like, I like horror movies and I like sci-fi, so it seems like it would be right up my alley. But this is what I call cheap horror. This is there's regular horror, which is like good stuff like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that kind of thing. And then you get stuff like Scream 4 or,
Yeah.
Ouija experiment. And this kind of falls somewhere closer to the Ouija experiment.
To me, it reminded me of, have you guys seen the show The 100?
No.
It is. Okay, so it's a show that was on the CW. I'm not sure if it still is. And it's basically these kids that are, Earth has been like bombed out of its fallout,
Yeah.
Everything, and no one's lived on the planet for 100 years or so. We thought there's no living, So they send all of their prisoners. All of their prisoners are also like basically kids. So they send all their children, like 100 of them, to Earth to like say, set up a colony. They thought it was like a death mission, so really they're not going to survive. But Earth's breathable. It has two-headed deer though, and it has like basically the equivalent of like. Just Native Americans, I feel like, is what they were going for because they're kind of the colonists that are trying to invade this world that's been created.
I feel like that sounds a little bit like a really bad version of Fallout.
In a way, it wasn't great because along with balancing these people that are all savages, they're the warriors that are dressed up and they have these weird traditions named after things like Lincoln from, the old world.
Right.
They, along with balancing all those cool sci-fi concepts, they were teens do, will they, won't they? I love him, but I love her. I hate him. We're ready to fight.
And that's what
it's good for the audience. It's good for the audience, depending on who you're targeting.
Right.
I don't think it's something that, in your 30s, in your late 20s, anybody that's not interested in anything like that.
Right.
This doesn't break the mold on teen, young adult.
Freakish is the same thing. Like, Freakish is definitely, we're trapped together, so now we're going to start pairing off. And, oh, no, Becky broke up with
good
me.
hair. Yeah.
And, yeah. So that's about all the time we have to talk about that. When we get back, we're going to talk about Son of Zorn. I wouldn't check out Freakish if I were you, but, hey, to each their own.
Skip it. Yeah.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch, whatever it may be.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the GSMC television podcast. I'm here with the beautiful Shay and the beautiful Jordan.
I was like so excited when she said beautiful.
Look how your guys' voices just changed. You're like,
I'm in a good mood. It feels great to be called beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's what I've always
you are
wanted.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Right?
Sitting here with my messy hair, but thank you.
It just feels great.
Now that everybody's in a better mood, let's
Wave of confidence.
Let's talk about Son of Zorn.
All right.
So I actually watched this show. I watched the first episode. And so the first episode was about the animated warrior Zorn, and he travels to California to reconnect with his son and his ex-wife. And I was like, aw, this is cute. This cartoon cares about his family. He's a family man. He's trying to reconnect with his wife. He's got some real stress happening in his life. Poor guy. I hope he gets his wife back. And then whatever. And then all of a sudden I see real actors come in. I was like, is this their same show? Are they like in the right place? I don't know what's going on. And then I was like, what?
I'm so glad you didn't know that at first.
Right.
No, I had no idea going into it. And I was pleasantly surprised. I really applaud the idea that they mixed in actors with cartoons, because I've never seen that on a regular TV network. And this was aired on ABC, right, Shay?
Where's
this is actually on Fox.
Oh, okay, Fox. Yeah. So I was surprised that Fox played a show like this that's so different.
Oh, Fox is like notorious for being a little bit innovative in their shows. Like they kind of break the mold a little bit with their television.
Yeah, I don't know about the news, but they sure do the comedies. Yeah,
and a lot of people just tune in for their like news that is questionable if it's really news or not, right?
Well, they have different channels. They have like a specific channel, I think, for the comedy stuff.
Like, It's but Son of Zorn. So you enjoyed it, or?
I was pleasantly surprised.
Did you like the idea of it more?
I didn't
or did
like
you
how I didn't like how it was starting out with the cartoon. I thought, oh, this is a cute cartoon, very humanistic. He wasn't like saying like Pikachu, like what I really expected from a cartoon.
Yeah.
It went more in depth than I was expecting, for sure. So I did kind of fall in love with the character. And then when the real actors came out, I really was like, okay.
Well, are you
I
familiar
this.
with like He-Man, Master of the Universe?
No, I'm definitely not.
No, it's like
He's basically like your 80s,
like Hasbro.
I did like Flintstones.
He's your G.I. Joe, He-Man, what is it, Thundercats?
Yeah, Thundercats, Beastmaster, that kind of thing. He basically is He-Man. And it's about He-Man having a son, like in the real world. It's kind of interesting, and it is really cool to watch an animated character interact with humans. For the first episode, you can really tell that the actors aren't really looking in the right places. So I think later on they probably put in a stand-in because their eye lines don't always match up.
No, I noticed that too. But without the faults, I'm going to start with just saying the things that I did like about it.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I think it's you're totally right, Ravina. The concept is so cool, and I'm so glad. Much like The Last Man on Earth, I applaud Fox for doing something that seems like this could either really work or this can really fail.
Yeah.
And I think the show, while at first it had kind of a rocky start, since episode 3, which is what's the latest one that's been in the recording of this podcast,
right?
It's been a lot of fun. It's slowly grown into what I always thought it was going to be because I saw the trailers for this before it came out. I've been anticipating this show for a bit,
Yeah. Well, I've watched all 3 episodes, and I enjoyed all 3 of them. Like, especially the third one.
You saw all 3?
Yeah, I enjoyed all 3.
Jason Sudeikis, can I point out, he is just at his prime with this. Like,
oh yeah,
I think his voice alone and how he's able to get into this character. He's meant for Zorn,
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah, like the voice acting is great. I love like all the other animated things that come into like that eagle thing.
Yeah. The in the first episode, the griffin that gets killed. Jason Sudeikis actually was also in Last Man on Earth during season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Will Forte's brother.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's cool to see him doing. I guess he's slowly, in my mind, like getting the brand of everything that's bizarre, those little new concepts.
Right.
He's got at least his finger in the pie.
Right, and I think Fox is one of those channels that does a pretty good job with their comedy shows. Like, I feel like they do a pretty good job being not necessarily like innovative, but like their stuff is always different.
Yeah.
It's not the standard mold. No. On that note, with comedy, so it looks like Louie C.K.'s. How long has Horace and Pete been out on Hulu?
Horace and Pete. It's not on Hulu. It's actually on Louie's. What is it? His own website.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's coming to Hulu. I don't know if you knew that.
Is it really?
Yes. So Horace and Pete is coming to Hulu, and it's funny because like Louie C.K. has talked about how he's lost a lot of money on the show so far, and a lot of it's his own money. But now he's saying that he's made back the money because now Hulu's picked it up.
That's great to hear because
that's a nice story. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
think it went about $15 million in, and Steve Buscemi's in it.
Yeah.
A couple SNL cast members.
I haven't watched any of it myself, but it looks pretty cool. I want to check it out. I love Louie C.K. Like I love his show, Louie C.K. Like it's pretty funny. He's a funny guy, and so I'm glad he's able to do this. I know he got in a little bit of trouble because he has a trans scene in it. So Jill Soloway got kind of mad. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. She said that. So, and I quote, this is Jill Soloway. He didn't talk to any trans people when he made, quotations, an episode about a trans woman because he didn't want to know. This is privilege. This is male privilege. And this is cis, white, straight male privilege where for 5,000 years they've had the handle on the narrative, and for 100 years they've been claiming nearly all of the filmmaking privilege, and that's what she said. So there are a few other things that she said about that, and basically she's just like, this is not okay, this is not okay. And Louie C.K. like kind of responds with, did you even watch the episode? Because he doesn't care if she doesn't like it.
See, this is how I feel about it.
I think as I'm reading it right now, and it seems like his response was a bit more respectful than that.
Oh yeah, well he doesn't really care what people think is one of the things that he said, and he wanted to know. He said she's really smart and been with some groups of people for a while, and he says they're both the same age and struggle in a lot of the same ways. But what's the word? Basically, he says that he wanted to know if she even really saw the show.
But the thing is, I can't really understand her frustration, his or her frustration, because the fact that transgender is a topic coming up more in television, that's a good thing.
Right. I feel like it. Well, and it depends on how it's represented.
But
so,
even
the
fact that they're being represented is my point.
I guess that's true.
Because they can't take. I don't feel like they can't take so much offense when they're being made fun of, because Asians are made fun of, Indians are made fun of, men are made fun of, women are made fun of. Everybody's kind of made fun of, you know what I mean? So
I feel like in a certain extent I understand what you're saying, but there's also
there's a fine line with everything.
Yeah, you have to really keep in mind.
But
I feel like Louie C.K. is the kind of person who's always been kind of pushing things forward as far as like ethically in his shows. Like his shows always seem to have a moral point and a moral purpose. I can't imagine him doing anything that would be like insulting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he definitely seems like a smart person.
Yeah, definitely. He's very inclusive and caring and that sort of thing. And he even says like himself that he argues that it didn't necessarily feature a transgender person, that there was, kind of implications, if anything.
Yeah, the joke was that she was messing with him, and she may have been, may not have been. I think I've seen Horace and Pete, and one thing that I noticed about it, and I haven't seen the entire series.
Right.
It's incredibly dark. It is something that like I imagine be very hard to watch it in one sitting. Just the amount of themes that are like, oh my God, this is heavy.
I'm more surprised that she's coming after Louie C.K. because, I mean, did you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Their jokes are straight up mean, like about that sort of thing. So I don't know why nobody came after It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I don't know either. I think, but I don't know, because Louie C.K. is a bit more respected as far as like being someone that's not just making comedy.
I suppose that's true. Yeah,
it's something that's more deeper, and people are going to pay attention more in depth to the meanings behind what's being showed on the screen. Especially Horace and Pete. You can say that's like 1/3 a comedy, 2/3 something that you every once in a while go, oh my God, no. What?
Yeah, well, that happens a lot in his show Louie C.K. as well.
I think Louie was a lot lighter than Horace.
Really?
It was so much lighter.
I thought Louie was pretty dark.
Have you seen Horace and
I have not.
We're going to have to watch that, because when you see it, you're going to go, oh, Jesus, what is...
I'll go home and check it out.
Yeah.
Now, it looks like we're coming up to a close on the show. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Shay Northrup.
I'm Jordan Giles.
And I'm Ravina.
And where can they find us, Jordan?
Well, they can find us on GSMCpodcast.com, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher. They can even like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
So, hopefully you guys like the show. Let us know what you think. And as usual, stay saucy.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Television Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.